Hello, today I'm going to be filming how to get a first in a university group presentation because I feel like there's a lot of videos about how to get a first in like essays and dissertations and that there's nothing really about how to get a first in a group presentation on YouTube, so I thought I would film my advice. I've only ever got a first like once, but I can kind of see why. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this video, and yeah, let's get started. So, I haven't actually made any notes because honestly I'm so like swamped in uni work, which I should probably be doing right now. But yeah, I just wanted to film this video and I just thought I'd just go off what I kind of know. So yeah, last semester I did get a first in a group presentation. I know not everyone likes group presentations because they can be like a faff, like trying to organise people and stuff. And especially now doing stuff online as well makes it a bit trickier. But my tips would be, so first of all, if you can, pick people out of your class who you know work hard. That's quite an obvious one, but yeah, I think in my personal experience the presentations I've done the best in, like group presentations, are when I've been with people who work hard and just want to get on with it kind of thing. Like, don't worry if you're not like best friends with them. I think in some cases it's actually better if you work with people who aren't your friends, because you will just work, you won't like get distracted or anything. So yeah, try and like pick out people from your class who you know you get on with but you know who work hard as well. Yeah, because the last group presentation I did where I got a first in it, I knew like one of the girls was like one of my best friends on the course, but the other two people I didn't know that well, but like we still got on really well. I think we all just wanted the same thing, we wanted a good grade in it. So yeah, I would just say make sure you like try and pick people who you know are hard workers. The next bit would be, so once you have your group together, like work on each other's strengths. So in my most recent presentation we basically had to do critical discourse analysis of like a educational text or like an educational policy. So if you don't know, critical discourse analysis is like split into 3 sections. It's like the micro level, meso level and the macro level, I think, and the micro level is like text. And basically I did English at A level, so I was like, you know what, I can analyse text like quite well, so I chose that bit. One of my other friends did like the introduction to the topic as a whole, and then the other 2 people did the other 2 sections. And again, I think because we all knew what our strengths were, we like bounced off each other really well. And yeah, as I said, because I had the bit which I knew it was my kind of skill set, I definitely feel like I excelled in that part of the presentation. And then as I said, once you've like found out your bits, make sure each kind of section rolls off from like another way kind of linked together. So as I said, like mine was like the first sort of level of analysis, so what I did a lot was like I kind of referred back to the introduction that the previous person did to me. It just gives the presentation more of a flow and it shows you've actually worked as a group rather than just like people in a group doing separate bits of the presentation. Like, I think you can really tell when people have actually worked together compared to when people have just like selected that they're going to do this slide and just presented it. So yeah, make sure you do actually work together with your team, and like to make sure you like bounce off each other, or like when you're answering questions from the audience or whatever, that you like help each other out. And as I said, it'll just like flow a lot nicer, and it will show you've worked together as a team. So yeah, going on to like what's actually in your slides, I would say if you can, if you're like allowed to, obviously I do an education course, so like a lot of the presentations we do are kind of like as if they're being taught, like they're almost like mini lessons. So a lot of the time our lecturers really value if you make them like interactive. So I would say if you can and if you're allowed, make them interactive as possible, because like when you're sat in a class for like 2 hours watching presentations, like they get boring. So if you can do something which makes them interactive or just slightly different, like even with our one we put a couple of YouTube videos in there just so people weren't listening to us talking the whole time. And so yeah, I would say put a couple of YouTube videos in. Like they don't have to be long, maybe like 2 minutes or so, because obviously some presentations are longer than others. For this particular one it has to be like 40 minutes long, so we kind of like we need longer videos. But like if your presentation is like 15, then maybe put one video in. So yeah, I'd say put videos in if you can. Also things like little quizzes, like a Kahoot quiz always goes down really well. Again, it gets your audience engaged and like it shows whether people are actually taking in the information or not. And we also use a website called Padlet, which we use in seminars as well anyway. And it's a bit like, it's kind of like a virtual post-it note on a wall situation. So you obviously put the link into your like chat or whatever, and then everyone goes onto the link and they can just write up ideas like anonymously. So if you're like discussing something, because I know that not all people, especially like online, not everyone wants to talk on like a microphone or whatever, or like in the chat box. So yeah, if you put a Padlet, I'll link this website down below, but if you put a Padlet into your chat and then it goes into like another window, but you can just like, people can type up their sort of answers or their thoughts or anything, as it is all anonymous. I mean, you could put your name on it if you wanted to, but most people don't. And again, it shows people are interacting, but they might just feel more comfortable interacting, like not verbally sort of thing. So yeah, that worked really well for us personally. And yeah, what else did we do? Yeah, I would say as well, usually like in my presentation anyway, the teacher will usually ask you a question at the end. And I would say, as it's a group presentation, again, if they've asked you specifically but you don't know, like pass it to another member of your like team or your group. Again, I'll just show you've all worked together and you're like helping each other out. And yeah, I'd also say on each slide, like make sure you don't put loads of stuff on the slides, because again, people are just going to get bored and it would be hard to take in. So I'd say try and maybe put no more than 5 points on a slide, because as I said, people will just turn off. And one of my big tips as well would be like, so a lot of the times when you're like doing a presentation, you'll have notes with you. I would say when you're actually writing the notes, write them up as if you're writing an essay, just so they make more sense. And like when you like upload the notes, like it'll be really clear to the teacher, and like it'll show you're still writing in like an academic way. So yeah, make sure you fully reference everything and all your presentation and all your notes. Again, it'll just show you've got good sort of, not manners, but good like academic etiquette, I guess. And yeah, I would just say make sure everything's really well referenced in even your notes. I know they're just notes that you use to present, but like make sure they're well written and they're clear. So as I said, you can put like 4 or 5 points on the slide, but then like talk more about it, like give your audience extra information that's not on the slides, like through your own voice or whatever. Again, it will just make it more interesting, and like it'll mean the audience actually have to listen to what you're saying, because if you're just reading off a PowerPoint, like people won't listen, they'll just read it for themselves. But like if you're saying something slightly different, it kind of challenges their brain a bit more. So yeah, I think, yeah, as I said, when we got the first, like we were just aiming for a 2-1, like honestly, but when we got the first, what we were like really graded high on was again the interactivity. As I said, we had YouTube videos, we had did we have a quiz? I don't think we had a quiz, but as I said, we had Padlet, which was a really good resource, and like on almost every slide we had like a little question for the audience. So we would like say, how has it made you feel, like what do you think about this, that sort of thing. And with me, on one of my activities was like I showed a YouTube video, but then I asked questions about that specific video. So yeah, we were marked really highly on like knowing our topic. So again, take the time to read over your topic and like fully understand it before you like present it to someone else. Yeah, so as I said, we're marked highly on like interactivity, knowing our topic, and yeah, like as I said, I think the main sort of praise we got was the fact that like it was just it was easy to understand, and it like made for good discussion. As I said, I don't know what subject you're doing when you're watching this, but coming from like an education course, like it is quite like sought after to have like an interactive presentation. But I think that can work in other subjects as well, so it just makes it more interesting for people watching it and the lecturers, because they've probably seen all these lectures, all these like presentations, sorry, like millions of times from other students over the years. So if there's any way you can make your presentation like slightly different, as I said, whether that be through videos, through like little activities within the presentation, like do it, because it'll make you stand out, and hopefully you'll get that first you're aiming for. But yeah, I think also as well, going back to the people in your group, like if you are like put with other people, like I think if you're someone who wants the high grade, just kind of take the opportunity to be the sort of leader of the group, be like, right, you can do this, you can do that sort of thing. And yeah, I think if you give people, again, work on people's strengths, like if you know someone's got like a background in a certain subject, like let them do that sort of thing. And yeah, just give everyone like really clear instructions of what they should be doing, like help each other out, as at the end of the day it's a group presentation, you shouldn't be doing all the work. But yeah, I'd definitely say, even if you're not close with them, just like give like nice clear instructions, be like, oh hey, you can do this on your slide or whatever, if people are struggling. And yeah, as I said, make sure it flows nicely, so practice it a couple of times before you present it. And like make sure you time it as well, because I know a lot of mine are like timed, so if you go over a lot of time, like that can be deducted from your grade, like they just won't count what's gone over the time. Because you'll probably find as well on the actual day you'll probably speak quicker because you're nervous. So yeah, whenever you're timing it, maybe add a couple of minutes on after that time, like in your rehearsals, because you, as I said, because of nerves, you'll talk more quickly. But yeah, on the actual day, just breathe, just be like, I can do this, I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, just talk, like, try and talk a bit slower than you like normally do, because again, it'll just make it clearer to your audience. And yeah, if you're doing it on, like, if you're doing like an online presentation, I'd say like don't panic too much. We use a website called Collaborate, like on Blackboard, so all you have to do on there is just basically go into settings and then share a file. And I think everyone who's like a moderator can like click through it, so that makes it really easy. And also what's quite nice about doing it online is that you don't have to have your camera on. So a lot of times I've just been literally sat there in like hoodie and joggers, just like with a microphone on, talking about, and again, you can, because people can't see, you can literally have your script up in front of you and just like read off it. I would also say as well, even if you are presenting online, make sure you print off your script so you're not like flicking between different tabs and stuff, just so it's a bit easier. But yeah, also again, if you're in person, print off your script, but don't be looking at it constantly, because I know lecturers like absolutely hate that. But I think as well, they probably can tell on like a online presentation whether you're reading. So as I said, try to like learn as best you can and just use it as like a prompt rather than a script. Again, just so it shows you're a bit more confident in what you're saying. And I think as well, especially when you're reading something, you'll probably just read it quite quickly, but I think if you just say it out loud, it means you've got to think about it more rather than just reading off a script like really monotone. So again, I think that can speed you up as well if you're just relying on a script constantly, but if you're thinking for yourself, it'll hopefully slow you down and like keep you at the right pace, so you stay in your like allotted time scale. Any other questions, let me know, leave them down below. I hope you found this video helpful. As I said, I know group presentations can be so annoying, but I think, as I said, if you've got the right group of people who like work hard and follow some of these tips from this video, you should hopefully get a first. But yeah, keep working hard if you're a uni student. I don't know how it feels right now. I'm not enjoying uni, but it's fine, I'm done in like 3 months, so yeah. But please like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you soon. Bye.